Hello. So, in the spirit of helping you find free library resources from home, I want to show you what I think is a really underutilized resource, and that is free full text articles from popular magazines and newspapers. And so, from the Mystic and No Ink Library, to access this, you will go to this little tab down here called Research It, CT. That's the Connecticut State Library has a number of these kind of sites, and this is their research and database site. So for most of this stuff, you will need an active library card. I'm not saying use the number that you'll see me use, but if it's your only option, I don't mind. You didn't hear that from me. But on the side, you'll see all the different resources that they have available. So it's actually not just popular magazines and newspapers. They sort by audience, and they also have a number of database links. So, oh, and also the Connecticut Digital Collections, which is archive objects that are pertinent to state history and a whole number of different things. But for right now, I'm going to first show you how you find newspaper articles. So we'll go to newspapers, and you'll see there is a whole host of them. Some highlights I want to point out to you are the New York Times. They have 1985 up until the present, so this can be used for past research as well as current up-to-date information. If you're used to coming to the library to read our papers and you're not able to do so, you might check here. And there's also Connecticut sourced papers. But of the national ones you might be interested in, you see Wall Street Journal, Washington Post, New York Times, and the LA Times actually. But so I'm going to show you the New York Times. There's a couple best practices for searching that will really help you get the most out of this resource. So I'm going to go in and type my card number. Okay, and because there's such a huge amount of articles, if you know the exact name of an article, you can always go ahead and enter it in quotations, and it will bring back only articles with that phrase exactly in the quotes. Most of us are not supercomputers who memorize the titles of articles we read 4 years ago, however. So I'm going to show you the advanced search feature. I think the best thing that you can do is to search by topics that you are interested in. You can add a row to add search terms. So again, just remember that when you type something in quotes, it keeps those words in the quotes together. It will only bring back results that look exactly like that. And then you have a selection of and or. And is going to narrow your search, or is going to broaden it. And the other thing I think you'll likely want to know is that this publication date feature is right here. So I'm going to say the last 7 days. I am going to say coronavirus. It comes up, in fact, with terms here. I'm going to say World Health Organization. I'm going to say symptoms. And I'm going to add a row and say or CDC. Oops. Because let's say I want one of these reputable health organizations to be mentioned in the article. And again, last 7 days, we know things happen very quickly with this virus, but so anything beyond 7 days ago is certainly no longer relevant. But so I'm going to go ahead and search, and that brings back only 20. Oh, that's in this page. 38. So sorry, roughly 40 results, which considering the amount of information on the coronavirus is pretty good. So you can kind of scroll through and take a look at, so let's say we want to look at this one, 9 Global Lessons on Fighting COVID-19. Unfortunately, there are no pictures in any of these full text articles. So for magazines, that's particularly, upsetting to people. I think a big appeal is being able to have pictures to guide your reading, but you still get the full text of the article. So you can go and read that at your leisure here. But I just want to show you what would happen if I did not narrow the search in this way. So if I just searched for coronavirus, or you know what, even just COVID-19, without designating more information, you're left with a list of 2,500 results. So, and that's even the specific term. So just be mindful of what you're searching for, and I think the date in particular is really going to help you find what you want. So all that being said, I'm going to go back and show you how to do popular magazines. Go back to research it through the Mystic No Ink Library website. And I'm going to go into popular magazines for public libraries. And here's just there's a really big range of magazines here. Consumer Reports, I know a lot of people could use, and then even things like People say you want the latest. You want to read about Tom Hanks who has coronavirus. Anyway, let's pick something maybe a little bit less focused on coronavirus. We'll go to Rolling Stone. Again, you're going to want to put your library card number in. And what's really helpful about most of the way these magazines are made available here is that you can see off to the side, they archive it by year, which is wonderful because then you can just go into the issue. You can see they already have the March issue here. So you go into the issue, and it will show you, I believe it's in order of publication in the actual magazine. They show you every article in there. So let's see, about 5 pages worth of articles. Some of these are going to be, the smaller features, and it even tells you what page in the magazine. So yeah, it does look like it's going sequential. So you can go ahead and take a look at all these different magazines here. Let me back up. There's a magazine about golf, okay. Scientific American, a Smithsonian. So these are just really, really great resources to take advantage of. I don't think many people realize that their library card grants them access to all of this. And you run into the issue of looking up articles online, and you can only read a certain amount before you're essentially barred from access without a subscription. Well, this is a way around that. So especially with things like the New York Times, the Washington Post, the Wall Street Journal, you're only able to read a few amount of articles. So now with a Connecticut State Library card, you know several ways to find some of those articles through your library. And then again, if there are other topics you would like covered, you can go ahead and email me. My name is Eric at ecaswell, ECASWELL, at mysticnoinklibrary.org. Okay, and so this gives you plenty to read now.